All right, so we are live, my friends. We are live. What are we talking about? Sunshine and shitstorms. We're talking about marriage. All right. So, yesterday I made a post. So what am I talking about here? So yesterday I made a post about the darkness of man. If you haven't read it, go read it. I made a video on it as well, and I basically shared, one of the darkest periods of my life, the darkest moment of my life when I was in a dark, dark, dark place and my marriage was basically over. It was all but over. We had not gotten a divorce, but it was basically we had gotten a divorce of the heart. At least I had. And my wife was going there too because I was just such an enormous asshole. And it was bad, and it was dark, and it was dirty, and it was ugly, and and I'm so grateful for it. So here's what I want to get to today is a lot of things that I talk about, in these videos. They seem dark, they seem negative, but the intention is a positive, right? We've got this polarity inside of us. We have lightness and we have darkness, right? We have light and we've got dark. And we have to realize like that life is a game of weaving in and out of both, of light and dark, good and bad, sunshine and shitstorms, right? And I know a lot of people on social media world, they like to paint this world of like sunshine and rainbows and all this kind of stuff. I'm guilty of that too. Scroll, I mean, like I am. Like just start scrolling through social media, look at people's stuff, and and that's good. Like we need the sunshine, right? We need the sunshine in our life and in our marriage. And like thank God, like my wife and I have had like 80, 90, maybe not 90, 80% more sunshine than shit storms, but we've had some big storms in our life. And but that's how we learn and grow who we are. But here's the thing, man, like it's like anything in life, whether it be, your marriage, your relationships, uh, commitments you make in your own relationship with your health or your business, whatever it is. But if you truly have an all-in commitment, you can weather any storm. If you've got an all-in commitment, you can weather any storm. That commitment, right, will carry you through the shit storms because you see a sunshine and you see rainbows ahead, even though that you know that you're going through it. So it's so incredibly important. I would say that at times, whenever we're at our darkest, we were like our backs were against the wall, meaning as a couple, my wife and I, those were the times where we've lost focus of that more compelling future, that more compelling vision. And we forgot, we lost that commitment that we both made to one another and that we really had in our hearts. And not just a commitment, like a commitment that you have to, it's a commitment that you get to, it's a commitment that you want to. Those are the things that are going to carry you through those difficult times. Because as I shared in my video, yesterday and in my post yesterday, it was like we are at rock bottom. We were at a point like where my wife was pregnant, hadn't told me because she wasn't sure how I was going to react because she thought I was leaving anyways. And so she had stopped eating. She had like a re-triggering of an eating disorder that she had from high school. So she stopped eating, she's thin as a rail, broke down crying on our closet floor that had no carpet in it because we had a water leak in the bathroom, slowing on this cold concrete pavement, crying and wailing out, asking me to just like give it one more chance and to love her. And I just like I stepped right over, asked her to leave me alone. This is really dark. But through that time, like it grounded me, like meaning like ground, like knocked me to the ground so I could like had to really make a decision. I had to look at the past and all in commitment that I made and figure out why I had lost that commitment. It had nothing to do with her. It had to deal with me and things that I hadn't fixed. But from that space, we were able to, ultimately get things back on track. And I talk about these dark stories, but I mean, scroll through my Facebook pictures or whatever, like we've had an amazing life together. 23 years. Today is our 23rd year anniversary. And were the times painful that we had to go through? Yes. Like absolutely. And if you're going through that darkness, through a pit right now in your marriage, like I encourage you, like look at like what is your commitment with yourself, with God, with your relationship for the next chapter of your life. And if you can, even if you're coming from that bottom place, like what is that more compelling vision? What is that future focus that you have for your life? You need to find that, and you need to find that with your spouse. And you guys got to get interconnected, because if you can't do that, you're not going to make it. And if you're not going to do that, you don't want to make it, because being stuck like in a marriage where you're both unhappy for long extended periods of time, we're all going to have it for short periods. All right. This like it's going to happen for short periods of time. When we're talking about you're in this like unhappy marriage and you're not in sync of what you both want for the long-term vision, a long-term future of your life, that's going to be a problem. You figure out, if you've got to find that all-in commitment. You may have lost it. Doesn't mean that you can't find it. I lost it. My wife lost it. But here we are 23 years later. Okay. And it's through these times of like really enjoying the sunshine. Like, and I'm thinking about like my Facebook stuff, because I was going this morning and looking for a picture for a post and all this kind of stuff, thinking what I want to write to my wife. And I was like, man, we've had some amazing experiences. And what if we had thrown it all away? Because there were so many times, especially in the beginning, some married couples had a great first year or two. We fought like hell. We were so stubborn and so selfish, and we wanted to both control things, and hard-headed, and we just brought in all this baggage from previous relationships, just from childhood. God, stuff like we hadn't fixed, and there's stuff we're still trying to fix 23 years later. But I'm just looking back at the memories and the experiences and the regret that I would have had if I had walked away, if I had forgotten about my all-in commitment. So if you don't have it, go find it. It's there inside of you somewhere, because there's something that you want to commit to all in. And maybe you haven't. Maybe that's why your marriage is struggling, because you haven't committed all in. You may have been married for I don't know how many years and you still haven't really committed all in. You're like either cheating, looking to cheat, looking at stuff on, porn or whatever online. Yeah, like you're like, there's other ways to cheat. There's other ways to not go all in. When you're going all in, right? Whenever you play all in, you don't need to have the words, like you just do the things that someone does when they're all in. So find it, because it is worth it. This game of life and this game of marriage, which we know is sunshine and shit storms, is so worth it when you're all in. So find what you're all in together is, and that's how you're going to weather these storms.